Spiderhead on Netflix, based off of a short story starring Chris Hemsworth and Miles Teller, directed by Joseph Kosinski, who just did Top Gun. Y'all should go watch Top Gun in theaters. Here's a good reason why it should just go to theaters. Netflix is not giving you the same type of quality content. Did you get the chance to catch this?
I did. I'm
Tell the people.
mixed on it, as I think it seems like you are too.
Yeah. Do you want to give a synopsis?
Yeah,
Because I don't even know how to describe this. I feel like it's two movies in one.
Yeah, so it's the story of this island where prisoners are sent to participate in experimental drug therapy. They're like developing these drugs for the wider public, but there's also like this sort of other like nefarious element going on of like, are they being lied to? Are they being manipulated? How ethical is all this? And like everything I just described, I think sounds like an extremely interesting movie.
Yes.
It's just that like the way it's handled here is
Dumb.
about as paper thin as you can imagine for that type of plot. Like I when I watched this movie, I was telling Caitlin, like I compared it to a wafer. Like it tastes good, but the second it hit my tongue, it dissolved. And I don't know if I'll be able to tell you any plot details a week from now.
You should write for a living. Yeah, it definitely feels like a short story that's been stretched out to a feature film. It feels like it should have actors to the caliber of Ex Machina, in my opinion, because
Yeah.
I thought this was an action movie. It is not an action movie. This is a theater piece, practically. And listening
It's a
to
thriller. It's a mood piece.
Yeah, they talked about how this is just, dialogue going back and forth, and I think all the actors in this are really good. I like Miles Teller, I like Journey, and I think Chris Hemsworth in movies like Black Hat is able to bring a lot to it. But it's written by the two writers who did Deadpool. They were writing this as a comedy. I think Joseph Kosinski's writing this as a cerebral type of thing, sci-fi that's not into the too distant future. And then Netflix thought that this was like the precursor to The Gray Man or something like that. They're like, hey, look, we got another adventure over here in this one. I think it's very convoluted, but it has interesting stuff going with it, with a lot of themes of forgiveness and this whole concept of like really the prison system and how you could use people as just test buddies. A lot of what's that experiment? The one where is it the Milton one where it's
Stanford
like how far
prison
would you go?
experiment?
That's another one too.
Yeah.
Which are all movies that handle this a lot better. I think there's potential here, and I'm just kind of conflicted with it. I didn't hate it, but it was kind of tonally all over the place.
Yeah.
It kind of felt like Netflix was playing with those little B1s and everything that they control the humans with, and they just did that with the script. But,
Right. Like it's not unpleasant to watch, and I wouldn't call it boring. I think you're not gonna be like that was a waste of time, but it's there's not a whole lot to chew on. There's not a whole lot to talk about. Like it's not. I don't think it's really making any kind of big statement about pharma or big tech or like workplace culture or the prison industrial complex. It has all those elements in it, but it's not really doing anything with it. It's just a small, three-hander type of story with, I think, like a very fun Chris Hemsworth performance and then kind of bland Miles Teller performance. I like Miles Teller, but I don't know if this was the right character for him.
I agree with you. But he's worked with Joseph Kosinski a lot. I think this is his third movie.
film together.
back to back. So good for them. Spiderhead streaming on Netflix.
I heard this on another podcast, but Joseph Kosinski likes to put Miles Teller in these kind of like stoic roles where he's very like inwardly tormented, and that's not what I like about Miles Teller. I like him as a more expressive, dry kind of character.
I agree. I like Miles Teller when he's, let me see if this loads right here, not wearing this ugly mullet. Moving on.